I started a brand new career mode with Chelsea in FIFA 26. We completely rebuilt the squad, made some big transfers, and tried to take Chelsea back to the top. So let's see how our first season went. And trust me, things got pretty crazy. For our formation, I decided to use a 4-3-2-1. The plan was to play with high pressing, short passing, and a more defensive approach. I wanted us to be aggressive when we didn't have the ball, but still stay organized defensively. Before starting the season, there was a lot of work to do. Chelsea had a huge squad, so I decided to make some serious changes. Around 70 players were put on the transfer or loan list. For the younger players, the main goal was to get them regular playing time somewhere else. Mark Guiu was one of the players I decided to send out on loan. Slonina and Sharman Lowe were also sent out to get more experience. There were a lot of young players in the squad, and I didn't want them sitting on the bench all season. So a loan move made the most sense for them. Then came the difficult part, deciding who should leave the club permanently. I put several players on the transfer list, including Chukwuemeka, Adarabioyo, Chalobah, Robert Sanchez, Fofana, James, and Gusto. It wasn't about completely changing Chelsea. I just wanted to build a squad that actually fit my system. After getting rid of some players, it was time to start looking for new signings. Our first priority was a new starting goalkeeper. Then I wanted 2 starting center backs and a new left back. The idea was simple: strengthen the weak positions and make the team more balanced. These were the players I brought in to strengthen the starting 11. And after all the transfers were done, it was finally time to start the season. For most of the season, I decided to simulate the games and only focus on the biggest matches. The target was simple: finish in the top 3 of the Premier League. And honestly, the season started pretty well. Chelsea were competing near the top of the table, and the new squad was starting to look much more balanced. The team was playing the way I wanted, especially with the high pressing and quick passing. But then we had a big problem. Pedro was out, and losing one of our best players was definitely not ideal. this point, the rest of the squad had to step up. Now it was time for a huge semi-final. We had made it this far, and I really wanted to reach the final. We're through. Chelsea are going to the final. But the biggest challenge was still waiting for us, the Champions League. Honestly, I didn't expect us to go this far in our first season. But somehow we made it all the way to the quarterfinals. At this point, I realized that this Chelsea team could actually compete with some of the biggest clubs in Europe. So how did our first season actually go? We finished in the top 3 of the Premier League, reached the FA Cup final, and made it to the Champions League quarterfinals. Was everything perfect? Definitely not. There were some bad performances, some terrible defending, and a few games where I honestly had no idea how we didn't lose. But for a first season, I think we did a pretty good job. Overall, I think this was a pretty realistic first season for Chelsea. And this is actually my first video about a career mode series, so don't judge me too hard. I'm still learning how to make these videos better, and I promise that every episode will improve. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. This Chelsea career is only getting started.